Hi everybody, it has been a moment you guys haven't seen any stream or any video from us, and that is due to the blackout of internet. As you know that we've been having different issues in Africa, specifically blackout of electricity, sometimes water, but now we are in the internet sector as well. If you guys, on March, the same thing happened in the western side of Africa, and a lot of countries were affected, including Nigeria, and they did not have internet for almost a month. Right, and it's because of the fiber. As you guys know that the continent of Africa, if you are not aware of this, the internet that we're using in the continent is actually wired all the way down at the bottom of the sea. So, you can see the continent of Africa, and all this side is actually, there's ocean, all this side. So these cables are actually wired around the continent of Africa. It's taking internet, perhaps from Europe and other parts of the world, and bringing in the continent. And the company that is in charge of this, called Celcom, and not only the continent, but as well as UAE, as well as India. These are companies that are in charge of this. And there's different kind of ways of providing internet. First of all, you can use either fiber, like using these cables by using the trade routes. These are routes that were discovered by people like Vasco da Gama. Vasco da Gama is somebody who actually came a long time ago. He came to see Africa as well. He went all the way to India. So history named him as somebody who discovered the business route all the way to Africa and as well as India, right? But also there's somebody else called Christopher Columbus, who actually discovered the route all the way to Caribbean, all the way to the northern part of America, southern part of America. This is the guy. So usually the world that we're living right now, they're using the same trade routes to actually initiate some other things, because these were actually the simplest routes, and they were affordable as well. They were able to discover them. So the world is actually trying to use the same route. So even when it comes to the internet, these fiber that are actually located down at the bottom of the sea, they're using actually the same routes. But there's different kind of challenges. There's a possibility of using different kind of routes. For example, you can use, I think Elon Musk, he has his own internet company called Starlink. And you're actually accessing internet by using satellite. This is the way too expensive. That's why a lot of people, they don't want to deal with it, because it's too expensive. All the data, everything that you guys access, when you type on Google and trying to search something is coming up. When you try to upload video, when you try to use your social media, everything is using internet. And therefore, if it is too expensive, I think people are not going to be able to access it. But these days, Starlink, it comes like as a luxury. I mean, if you want different kind of routes, you could use that. So for instance, if our country were using internet like, Elon Musk internet Starlink, that means, we'll be able to access it right now, because you're using satellite to access the internet, right? But in our case, it's not, the thing. Not only in Africa, actually in another part of the world as well, we're using this fiber internet, using all these cables that are located deep down, under the sea. And it's very fast, and, it's using light and all those stuff. But there's a different things that can happen, and this internet, it could be cut off, from your connection or from your country or whatsoever. And the government actually has announced here in Tanzania that something has happened, and that is there's been the cable that are deep down, the ocean has been cut out for some reason. We don't know where. We don't know, how it happened. We have no idea, but just something like that happened, and therefore the internet has been cut off from the country, right? But there's different kind of reason that this something could happen, all right? And I'm gonna just share with you guys my opinions, and you guys can share as well your opinion as well. The first thing, it could be just natural calamities, something like earthquake. It could happen, and those wire could be cut off. Or like when you're talking about the ship sometimes when they're trying to anchor, it could happen that anchor could just go all the way down and cut these cables that are deep down the ocean. It could be if somebody tried to bomb something intentionally, You know what I'm saying? They could bomb all these facilities and, you know, could end up, you know, not having anything. Or if, you know, you actually drop the container, huge container from the ship, you could go all the way down the bottom of the sea and cut the cables. Like anything could happen, and these cables could be cut off from, you know, from the, from the countries. Anything could happen. But also there's another theory that I would like to share with you guys today. You know, I'm not saying this is what has happened, but obviously, when you look at the country in the world that is technologically advanced, and the country that, when you look at the New York stock market, when you look at the, you know, London stock market, and when you look at other, you know, international stock market, then you realize that people who are owning technology, and even 5G we are talking about today, is actually Israel. So if you want to hurt Israel, if you want to hurt because of what has been happening between different countries like Palestine and other countries, if you want to hurt Israel, what basically you're gonna do, you're going to hit the place where they get a lot of money, and that is technology, and that is internet. If you look at this stock market, then you realize that a lot of owners, even the owners of these social medias we're using, if it is Facebook, if it is all this stuff, they're actually, they say like they're Jews, right? I have nothing to say about them because I don't want to be kicked out from this social media. But for instance, one of the very sensitive area is the area of the Red Sea. The place where it's called the Horn of Africa, but also the same place in the sea, there's a rebel groups from Yemen who have actually been fighting for so long and have been, if you cross that area, basically you're not gonna be alive because you'll be killed, basically. So this area it's really important, especially in the entire world, because it's the place that is being captured by these the rebels from Yemen who can actually do whatever they can. And this is one of the areas that these cables as well has passed as well. Right? So just in case, if you want to stop Israel, if you want to do whatever to them, because of what is happening right now, basically you're going to hit where it hurts, and that is when it comes to internet. And for me, I don't think this is coincidence with everything that has happened. Yes, it could be natural calamities, something has happened like that, or it could be, whatever it is. But also it could be intentionally, because this is the business that create a lot of money, and if you cut it off, that means you're cutting the money. You hit where the money is, right? Unfortunately, our countries are hugely dependent on them, even when it comes to internet as well. Therefore, whatever that they want to do with the cables, with the internet, we don't have anything to do in return. So the only thing is we just stay here and waiting when does the internet is going to come back, and we have nothing to do anymore. And I think this is the big and huge challenge to us as a continent, to us as Africans, that I think it's the time to really be independent. And it's the time for Africa to have her own satellites. Because we could easily access the internet through satellite. Yet it could be expensive, but it's the time for us to have our own independent, our own source of internet that we can get connected, not from the west, not from the east, but we can be connected from our own source of internet. Today, East Africa is struggling, and you have no idea how much money have been wasted and have been lost just because there's no internet right now in the eastern side of Africa. For me, I cannot even do my job, because everything is about the internet. But not only, a lot of people, they cannot do the same thing because of the internet. But when are we going to wake up and realize that we actually need to do something on our own? We actually need to save ourselves from these issues. We actually need to deliver ourselves from this issue. Because that is what really needed, guys. Apart from that, there's nothing that we can do. There's nothing that we can do. So we have no idea how long it's going to take and how long this internet is not going to be, accessible. But the only thing we know is that right now we don't have internet, and there's nothing that can be done. So I hope this will be a wake-up call to a lot of people out there to know that we need to be independent. So Africa, I hope you're listening and I hope you're learning, because this is the issue. They haven't happened once. It happened on March in Nigeria and other western part of Africa, and we didn't learn anything from that. Now it's happening in the eastern side of Africa. Do you think it's the coincidence? Do you think it's the coincidence to happen in the western side of Africa? Now it's eastern side of Africa. You don't know where. Next, south, north, you have no idea. But it's not coincidence. So Africa, I hope you wake up.